Okay, Blue Jays, let's play ball, eh? It's 8 p.m., October 20th, 2025. Everybody should know what is happening, obviously, unless, I mean, well, actually, that's not true at all. I'm Toronto, and, not everybody
The
who watches
center
the
of
show is
the
in Toronto. It's the center of the
universe.
universe, though, yeah, at least for right now, at least between here and maybe halfway across the United States, where Seattle then might take over. But for now, it's Blue Jay night. So welcome to
I
the
live
show.
here, therefore it is the center of the universe.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got two people on the show who live in the area, so therefore nothing else matters. Welcome.
As my grade 4 teacher used to say, me, the belly button of the world. And she
Exactly.
sang that song about another kid that was in the class. Not about me, surprisingly, but another kid. Even though it could have applied to me.
AJ is back, by the way, in case you couldn't figure that out.
Yep.
Yeah, he's already reliving childhood trauma from his elementary school days. So
There's not trauma.
we're right on schedule here.
Some good memories.
AJ, you were in enemy territory.
Yes, I was.
For you
I was behind enemy lines.
AJ was in Montreal and went to a Rangers game at the Bell
Rangers
Center.
Habs
AJ,
game,
what's your review of your experience at the Bell Center as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan?
Oh, if I could swear, I would, but it was electric.
Oh, okay.
Like effing electric. Yeah, in a positive way. It was awesome. Okay. So much fun.
Yeah. No, Montreal's sick. It's one of my favorite cities.
In like the second last row of the entire Bell Center.
Yeah.
And it was still so much fun. And I had a great time. My buddy who I went to visit there, who just got a job there, I was telling him we have to go to a game because the atmosphere is electric. And when we went and he saw all the people jumping, he's like, this doesn't happen at home. I'm like, yeah, because you know how I feel about our own fan base.
Yeah, Toronto fans are always on a razor's edge of depression, so there's no fun allowed.
Yeah, so that was my second game of the week, actually. It was a lot of fun. Went to the Leafs-Preds game on the Tuesday, carried the crowd into a wave. Like, I didn't try to start the wave because I think the wave is stupid at hockey games. But I at least got the building going. So I was pretty proud of that. And then just sat back, watched the game in Montreal, and it was a lot of fun. The Habs definitely got screwed by the refs that game. It was not well officiated at times, but it was a lot of fun. And it was cool to see Ivan Demidov and Lane Hudson, guys that I've been watching over the past couple of years, and then Matthew Robertson, a lead sniper.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
That ruined that was the moment I knew it was over.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, but it's good to have you back.
Appreciate
it's nice
for the limited time.
To have, yeah. So you said the next 3 weeks. You're
probably.
You're
I might be able to get next Thursday. There's a possibility I can do next Thursday, but after that, it's back to the old nights for me.
Back to the old grind.
Yeah, 2 weeks
back
of
to
nights.
The old ball and
that,
chain job,
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the NHL season has gotten going,
it's awesome, man.
We're well underway, having a great time already. And
who's better than who I saw playing defense in Montreal? Who's better than Lane Hudson? Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah, Matthew Schaefer, the subject of tonight's video.
At least the start.
Tonight's episode. He is.
He's so good, man.
Yeah, I went and watched another game of his between the last time you and I watched a game of his and now, and it wasn't just the best game he's ever played. I think he's just an incredible defenseman already in the NHL. I mean, he is a freak. Like it's like he's one of these guys. It's almost as if he's like how in Pac-Man, if you go off the edge one side, you pop up on the other side, on the far side of the map.
How you scroll across the screen.
He's kind of like that, where it's like you see him jump into the offensive zone and you're like, okay, where are you going there, fella? He was working off of guys and spinning and yada yada yada, but then you're like, okay, but then what about getting back?
Defense?
And then you blink and he's already there, and you're like, oh
yeah,
okay.
You know what's so awesome about him? How many times I saw guys, like, because I was watching the Sens game before I went to the Habs game, watching the Sens Isles game on television, that is. And he was just not letting guys enter the zone. He is so good at denying zone entries. It is ridiculous. Every time. They would dump it in. He'd go retrieve it, start a rush. Whether he would skate it or like make a stretch pass, just incredible. Yeah. Just like I think he's a top. Like I think there's a good case to be made that he's a top 10 defenseman in the NHL already.
I think he's very rapidly getting there. Like I don't know, maybe it's just the first few games he's got like the juice that eventually wears off.
That's very true. That I could be a little overzealous about it. But
I don't know, man. Like he's been pretty consistently fantastic, and I don't think like I've watched a lot of like Zeev Buium this year, and he's been very good as well. But I don't think it's the same level of comfort, and like. It's that whole thing of like, it feels like he's never out of comfort zone. Whereas Zeev Buium, I think, can put himself out of his comfort zone a lot still.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You're a young, early age player. It's fair.
And Matthew Schaefer is just exceptional.
I don't know what the hell, whatever he's eating or whatever he's doing at all at home, like his routine, he better stick with it because holy smokes, unreal. What a player.
I think he's just a super confident human being too. Like that was here comes the running joke. When I talked to him, he just came off as insanely confident, like very sure of himself. And I love that. I think this guy is going to be one of the biggest marketing like opportunities in the NHL, like in terms of selling jerseys at some point. I think he could get there because he's just so much fun as a player and a personality. And I love him. I'm ecstatic that he's in the league. And I think it's really great that he's on Long Island as well, because now you have two of the world's best defensemen in the New York area. One in Adam Fox for the Rangers, and then Matthew Schaefer on Long Island. And I think it's just so awesome that those two will do battle with each other as like who's the top defenseman in the New York area. And I think honestly there's going to be a debate about that in two years time.
I mean, depending on who you ask, Adam Fox is cooked now.
I don't think so. I think he's awesome.
I know you don't. I don't think so either, but there are really some who are now. It seems like there are some who, are kind of, I don't know.
The Rangers scored their first goal on home ice today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, today.
Go Rangers. Go Rags. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, I in general though, yes. No, I agree. It's just I love when this kind of thing happens, when you've got clearly star power coming in and you're going like, yep, this is going to be the way this is going to go, unless he gets hurt or unless something really bad happens or something, whatever. But like as he is now, there's a really bright future ahead because he has been so much better than I expected. And that's no disrespect to guys like Michael Misa or whoever, James Haggins, like whatever. But it's just, especially considering Schaefer turned 18 in September,
and
like
all the injury, like the time he missed. Like I think that's why if he had played a full season and we had seen the level of dominance that we're seeing now, even at the NHL level, like we'd probably see something really incredible in junior. It's very possible that there would have been a higher confidence level on your end that he could have been this good heading into it, but like we didn't have that runway. He got hurt in January. Or it was late December even. Like, it was during the World Juniors. So, it's just hard when you don't have a guy playing that long. And for him to even be so good that he held on to the number one spot without that runway is, I think, a testament to how good he is. And I'm in love with him. I'm in love with the way this guy plays.
AJ in love with Matthew Schaefer. There
no. I'm in love with Lyndon Lakovich, because that's my actual bromance.
Yeah. I mean, I had a thing I was gonna say, and then I forgot. Of course I did, because that's how this goes. I do remember. I mean, right. in the going back to last year, like I didn't get a full data set on Schaefer, obviously, because he didn't play a full season, and I bent my own rules to try to get some more eyes and data points on him. And I mean, the more I saw him, the thing I said like a billion times last year was the difference in his play between game one last year, right out of the gate, and just before the World Juniors was astronomically better. Like the first game I watched of him, I went, I don't know about this. Like, this is a little bit, but then it's like, yeah, he had mono and like this other stuff. And he just kind of caught up and then some.
Yeah,
and at that point, like, and at the World Juniors, you saw it. Like, you saw the capability. It's just that he got hurt. And I feel like down the stretch, yeah, I don't think if things had gone the way that they were going, and it's why he was my number one, right? Like, I wasn't super concerned about the injury because broken bones, it was a broken bone and it was not a good break, but they heal, especially when you're 17 years old. So it's like, okay, like, it's just a matter of time. And the trajectory he was on was so positive. And Michael Misa, at least I could look at Michael Misa and like poke some holes in his game, and go, oh, this might be an issue. This might need to be a work in progress. Whereas Matthew Schaefer, it was more like a uncertainty thing, but like in terms of how he plays and what he does, if you're looking for him to be Radko Gudas, that's not what he is. But
I don't think anybody was expecting that.
But he is but I mean, like, there probably is some level of hockey talk out there where it's like, he's not tough enough. He's not this, he's not that. But in reality, base hit right off the bat. The Jays are cooked. That's it. Game over. Pack it in. How
far behind are you? I saw that already.
I'm not going to comment on that. But anyway, but anyway, I don't want to talk about we don't need to talk about Matthew Schaefer for like 80 hours.
Yes,
but I mean,
do.
like, the way he plays is almost already like similar to how Lane Hudson is, like, enigmatic. There's not many like him. I can already look at a guy like Matthew Schaefer and go, I don't know if there's another defenseman in the NHL that I can really think of that is quite like him with regards to how he skates around the ice, how he sort of simultaneously manages to be really aggressive and also cover himself really, really well.
I think there is one, but it's insanely high praise to say this.
I don't know.
He gives me a lot of Cale Makar.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like Cale Makar, because like Makar drives a lot of stuff around like quickness and like skill level.
Sure.
Whereas like
maybe Yossi,
maybe,
but it's like there's better defending than Yossi.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think his skating gives him so much more leeway.
Yeah.
And less of a downside. You look at a Brent Burns type of guy, and it's like Brent Burns had that problem. Like, he was a pretty good skater and all those things, but his game was so heavily offensive leaning for a long time that like it was a bit of a liability
too, right?
He did, yes, he did.
A little different.
Yeah,
and he was a good defensive winger from what I heard.
Yeah, and Schaefer is just he's outstanding. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's been amazing watching him, and I don't know, I couldn't be happier because I love to see that happen. He's just a great player
and a great personality. Like, I think that's the thing that's so important to me here. Sell this kid because he, like, in terms of the game around this kid, because he is spectacular.
Put him in a Fisherman Islanders jersey.
Yes.
And call it a day.
Yes.
You got to have it with the swoopy 90s numbers. That's what I want. I want to come back. I want to come back of the Islanders Roberto Luongo, Eric Fichaud era jerseys. That's what I want.
Yeah, like, how many defensemen would you rather have than Matthew Schaefer going forward in the NHL? I think there are maybe 4 or 5 that I can actually say say confidently that I would rather have. I'm not saying that other guys aren't better. I'm just saying that I could say confident.
Yeah, I mean, it has only been like a handful of games, but I mean, he's
been outstanding in every single one of the games.
He has. Every single one I've seen, he's been outstanding. But yeah, I mean, geez, Shane Gostisbehere is leading the league in defensive scoring per game. That's hilarious.
That's probably because he plays on Carolina's power play.
Yes. He's also a +9, and that's everything. That means everything. Yeah, I mean, he's probably not that far off. Geez, he's a point a game. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
It's like, I think very highly of Lane Hudson, even though I opened it with Matthew Schaefer better than Lane Hudson, but it's not because Lane Hudson's bad. It's because Matthew Schaefer's so good. Right.
So, yeah. someone just commented a thing that I think we kind of have to cover today.
Sure.
And that's we'll catch up. Let's catch up with the chat. I think that's enough, Matthew Schaefer. We've
started it off with 15 minutes of Glaze Factory for Matthew
Glaze
Schaefer.
Factory. Yeah, the Glaze Factory needs to shut down for the night, recharge the machines, gas them up again for next time for Thursday.
That's all the Glaze donuts we're putting out.
Game.
So
yeah. All right, let's see here. Okay. Yes. J-Milk is here, all the way from Britain, I imagine, or not? Maybe not. I don't know.
Great Britain.
Yes. Yes. Bexelton Makish enjoyers. Yes, that is what we are. What would you say Emmett Finnie's NHL projection is long term, and what prospect pyramid tier would you put him in now? Well, the second part, I would say, I mean, I watched a bit of him this season, and I mean, I think it's a case of really good line construction in Detroit, where it's like he has his role and he's doing it well. Just being a rambunctious, just muck it up guy, which is fair. To me, I think I'm going to give it some more time, like longer term. If it works, if it works, it works. But I don't think anybody who said they expected Emmett Finnie to be a first-line NHL player right off the bat, leaving junior hockey, is lying, or the luckiest person alive. This is a guy who was drafted in the 7th round like 3 years ago. I don't remember hearing a thing really about him at the time. Maybe I'm wrong.
No hype around him until this year.
Well, he did have a really good year last year, but when watching him last year, I didn't really see first line NHL player. But I mean, I think it's also like, Lucas Raymond was on that line with him, and Dylan Larkin.
Yeah, that's the construction of it. Those guys are superstars.
Those guys are superstars. Those guys, and like, I think I definitely see the logic, because those two guys are the guys. Like, those are your puck transporters. Those are your pure scorers. Those are your defensive involvement guys. And you need a guy out there to muck it up and battle and grind and finish plays and all that stuff. And if Emmett Finnie is the guy who can do it, then Emmett Finnie is the guy who can do it. But in terms of like a tier change, I'm going to wait on that. Usually I give it like a very long time before I make a decision like that. With things, because it's happened before where guys play a really strong role in the NHL for the first 40 games of their career, and then over time someone else comes and takes their job or whatever. And so I'm always very hesitant to do that, especially when something like very outlier like happens. But yeah, I mean, and also I just hate the Red Wings and all of their fans and all of their prospects. So I'm gonna just degrade everybody. Everybody just goes down a tier by default, no matter what. If they win a Stanley Cup, it's still not gonna happen.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. So they're just, that's it. That's how this is gonna go.
But we've also reworked pyramids, because we talked about it in the offseason.
We are gonna do them differently for next year.
We're adding a complementary tier, so we separate the depth and complementary players out, where it's like the third line, fourth line guys who are fairly certain are in the depth tier, and then the complementary guys move up a tier.
Yeah.
The guys will be a bit more productive, because it's a little, I think that was the most confusing tier of all of them. So we talked about it, and we're going to change that going into next.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
that's why we're doing it.
1-0 Mariners. I guess now you can really call it in.
It's cooked. It's cooked. And it was a Canadian guy who got the base hit as well.
Yeah, it's over. R.I.P. Anyway,
rip bozos.
Yeah, let's continue. Over under 10.5 minutes on Liesel now that AJ is back. We're gonna not do that. He is a 1.5 a game in the AHL, but we're not doing
4
that.
points in one game.
Yeah, he did. So he's elite. He's back with a vengeance.
I didn't even mention him first.
Yeah,
I saw that comment, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold yourself in. The over.
Hold it in.
I can contain myself. It's just everybody brings him up.
Right, that's true. I gotta ask about a couple of WHL boys, and Cruz, Pavao, and Brian Stewart is here. Got a couple of WHL boys, and Cruz, Pavao, and Noah Kosick.
Okay.
So I saw Kosick late last week. Got a game of him in, and I thought he was interesting. The thing about Noah Kosick that's going to be very intriguing to watch is he is extremely young for the draft class. And when he was drafted to the WHL draft, I think he was 5'4" and like 120 pounds. And now he's 5'11". And that I think he's grown 4 inches in a year, something like that. At 16, 17 years old. And he kind of looks like it when you see him play. Like, he looks like a guy who you see some skill, you see some really good skating cuts. Like, you see some of the things that when I remember watching him in his WHL draft year and thinking, wow, this kid is really, really skilled and really quick and agile, and kind of because you have to be when you're that size at that age and all that stuff. And now his body is grown, and like, I feel like there's a style of play that he wants to play, but he's not physically, like, it's just not the cogs aren't turning properly right now. And I don't know if that's just because, like, he's gotten heavier and like that's kind of blunted some stuff, and that's just how he's going to be. But I think there was some really interesting stuff in the game I saw. Really interesting playmaking. Again, like I said, some really good skill. He worked off of the Russian he plays with a lot, Stepan Kryuchenkov, pretty well. Kryuchenkov's more of like the power, big, shooty boy. And Kosick was more of he was playing center and like up the middle. He was pretty good. He was a pretty good player. And Pavao, I always have been kind of up and down on him. Another skilled guy who I think has a decent sort of brain for the game, and oh boy, a decent brain for the game, and just overall,
they better call that out.
I was gonna say that hit him right in the face.
No. He jumped and he turned his back on purpose to get in the way. He was already out.
I see the replay now.
Yeah. Will's way behind my stream.
Yeah, you can't
do that.
You can't
as Wes McCauley would say.
Yeah, you can't do that. But anyway, but yeah, Pavao I have actually lined up for later this week, so I will have more on him then. But in general, I mean, it is a little bit unfortunate because he plays for the Tri-City Americans, and they just do not. It's the same thing as like Jordan Gavin last year, where it just did not feel like a good fit stylistically for them. And
do you mean
yes,
Jordan?
Jordan Gavin was on Tri-City last year, and then they traded him.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and he ended up in Brandon.
Okay.
And so anyway, the point is Tri-City is like not really up Pavao's alley, and he's not playing he's not playing like enough, I don't think. But another really, really young player who is an intriguing one that, again, I saw in his WHL draft year and thought he was interesting, but Tri-City is a tough nut to crack. That's a tough team to, you might look at his point totals and not see a high-end prospect, but I don't know, man. I think you put him in a different scenario and he'll be quite a lot more comfortable and a lot more productive. But we'll see. I mean, he is one I'll take a better look at probably tomorrow or Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking of Jackson Smith, who did.
Oh, yeah. No, Cruz, Pavao, and Jordan Gavin.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean derail you.
It's okay. I'll pray for your soul before I go to bed tonight. And
I'm not getting into heaven. I'm Jewish.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's too bad.
We don't even believe in a heaven.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah, he's out. Okay. How many Michigans will Albert Smițs score in the NHL? Yeah. So
Alberta
obviously, yeah, Alberta smells. So yeah, obviously the casuals and normies in here who aren't degenerated like in the Discord server and us. Yeah. Someone in the server, I think it might have been you, Mark,
we were watching. We were watching him, right? Because I came into your office hours. Because what Will does is he'll track games and he'll stream them, so you guys can come in and watch what he's thinking and how he's tracking these guys.
I didn't know you were in there today.
No, I wasn't there today.
Oh.
It was a while ago when we came up for the name of Alberta Smells.
Alberta Smells.
Because I misread it. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about you and Mark. And I was like, oh.
No. I wasn't in there.
Didn't see that today, but okay.
I was napping all day.
I was going to say, yeah, you were like sleeping all day. Anyway, continue. Or was that the end of your story?
That's it. You continue.
Okay.
Sorry I interrupted.
Because what happened was I think it was Mark who posted the gif of Alberta Smells.
Oh,
he thought about it. He went about 10% of the way there to scoring a Michigan goal in Liga the other day or yesterday or the day before. Anyway, but I mean, like, that's what I love about that guy. Like, he is a riot. Like, he is just so much fun to watch. And, you know, to me, it's like if he can just reel things in a little bit, like get a little more skilled, calm down a little bit, but also have that quickness off the puck and that quickness with his feet and all that stuff for a big guy. Man, I think he could be so good. And just got an A rating from Central Scouting, which is the big news of the day. It seems Central Scouting list came out for the preliminary list. And yeah, I mean, I agree, Xenome Project. Imagine Adam Fox on Carolina next to Jacob Slavin. Push to go to the Rangers feels short-sighted.
That's where he wanted to go.
Dude, but you know, do the Carolina Hurricanes have a Stanley Cup by now if Adam Fox doesn't force his way out, you know?
I don't know.
He'd be a hell of a player.
It's
like
possible.
we talked, how many years have we talked about the Carolina Hurricanes needing just one more superstar? They just need you know, if they had a Norris Trophy winning defenseman on their team like Adam Fox, that would be
it's
quite
possible, but it's like guys have the right to go where they want to go. That's my thought on it. As much as I hate that Mitch Marner left, it's like it's his choice. And even though I said some really horrible things the day he left, it's like I still love him. I have a hockey card of him right here on my desk, actually.
Right.
I miss him tremendously, even though I still think the team is good without him. But it's just like, I don't know. At some level, people want what they want, and you just got to accept it and not be too upset about it because you have no control over where guys want to go.
Correct. But he may have handed a Stanley Cup over to someone else by making that decision, because I don't think the Rangers are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Knock on wood, but I don't think
wood that they don't.
You know, but they might. I don't know. That team does not strike me as a Stanley Cup contender this year, at least not as of October 20th, 2025.
I don't think they're very good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But Artemi Panarin is kind of helping Mika Zibanejad look awesome again, even though Mika's not that good. But I think Panarin's been outstanding this year. That was really fun about watching, because I've seen the Leafs-Rangers game before in Toronto. Panarin was invisible that game. This game, I got the full Artemi Panarin experience.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It was awesome. He was forechecking like crazy, too. He was not doing that in the game I saw in Toronto.
Have you seen much of Nazar Pravalov this season? No, I have not. Nazar Pravalov, 15 goals and 4 assists in 14 games as an 09.
The Jonathan Chichu.
Yeah, I mean, geez, that's wild. No, I have not seen Pravalov this year, but apparently he's good. I mean, a 6'4", 205-pound, 16-year-old who has 15 goals in 14 games in the Russian Junior League on probably the most talent-loaded program in the country. Probably pretty good. So I'm just gonna assume that he's good and tell you that he's incredible, and then go watch him and be more tepid in 3 weeks. Yeah, okay. So thoughts on the Central Scouting Guide? Yeah, I mean, it is Central Scouting. NHL Central Scouting is, for anyone who doesn't really know, they are quite the outlet, to say the least. I mean, so the comment in question highlights a few spicy takes like Vigo Bjork, a B grade, which is like 2nd or 3rd round, Pearson Bouilly, like a 3rd through 5th rounder, and Adam Valentini is a late round W ranked swing. And all of those specifically, like, this is, I don't mean to say I know everything, but I did make a short from a stream we did weeks ago about Vigo Bjork being a guy that I think NHL teams will overcorrect on. Like, he's a guy that has all the hallmarks of a player that I think NHL teams will be scared off by, but too scared off by, right? Because and now you see him as a 2nd or 3rd round rated player, which to me is like just about as pessimistic a read on him as you can possibly get. Like, if Vigo Bjork goes in the 2nd round, I wouldn't be like shocked. It would be a little disappointing and a little bit like I probably wouldn't let that happen if I were an NHL GM, and take the chance on him. But I don't think he's a player that you really need to like so-called take a chance on. But he is quite small, and I think you do see a lot of the issues in his game at the SHL level, where his skating has gotten better over the summer and from last year, but you don't really see that like comfort level, right? He's one of these guys where guys close down really quickly on him. Viggo Bjork, Carolina Hurricanes second round pick, absolutely sounds like something that would happen. I mean, like, I don't think we're looking at like an Adam Banach situation where a top rated player, so to speak, going into the year comes out as a mid-round pick. I watched Bjork already. I have another game of him for this week. You're kidding, but I don't know if that's entirely that nuts. I don't think that's crazy. I could see the path forward for NHL teams to look at a guy like Viggo Bjork and go, I'm not super interested in that player because he might be a guy that is either like he'll score the lights out in Hockey Allsvenskan or be a good SHL player, but just can't make it work in the NHL, sort of Jonathan Dahlin style. I think Jonathan Dahlin might be maybe a different case study to look at historically, but nevertheless, it's an interesting one. I mean, Mbui that late doesn't really surprise me that much. I mean, he's a good player, but he's really rambunctious, but small. And again, when you look at Central Scouting's list, just all the hot takes that you think are there, just small. Adam Valentini, not very big. I don't think Valentini's like, he's not 5'8", but he plays kind of small. He is a bit of an aggressive guy. He does have some good skill. He's really sort of fluid on his feet. His skating is really nice. I mean, like the thing that happens, with guys like Valentini. We went back to the live chat because AJ's running the stream this time, and he can't put my stuff on my computer onto the. Yeah. So for now, when AJ's running it, it's going to be the old way. And when I'm running it, we'll have the rankings going and people can see live. If you're curious, though, like I can tell you. But anyway.
I can, for future streams, you can just give me like a little thing, like tell me who's
That's true. I could
where, and then I can flip back and forth between the live chat on the screen and the rankings.
It's true.
So we'll do that going forward.
It's true. What are we doing here? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Valentini. I mean, the thing that's going to be very important to keep in mind, and you can already see it on their list, it's like Valentini is a college player, and from my viewings of him this year, he doesn't look that out of place as a college player on one of the most prestigious programs in the country. So it's the same thing as Cullen Potter last year, where it's like people looked at a Cullen Potter and went, I don't know about him. And yeah, he hasn't scored 1 billion points this year. Like, oh, cry me a river. But like the big thing with him was like, yeah, but he's playing center, like a 5'10" center in the NCAA as a freshman, like an 07 is a big job. So like all these guys, that are drafted ahead of him that will never even play guys older than 20 for another 2 seasons. Those guys will get valued higher. So it's like, like there might be kids playing high school prep hockey in the US leveled at the C tier, and Adam Valentini is a late round swing, even though he's playing college hockey at a level that is probably better than that kid will be 3 years from now. But because it might be that whole thing of like, I expected him to be here and he's here, and the other kid I expected to be here and he's here, that has a bigger effect than this. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's like, I've said this before, like I just tune this stuff out. I just kind of like, I put it in my database. I go, okay, the only thing I find useful out of this is who have I not seen before, and who do I need to go, who am I going to go check out that I've never seen before? And maybe there's something there, something that I've missed, because it's easily very possible because it's only October and I'm not the most familiar with this draft class as of right now. There's a lot of guys that I saw last year, but this season, I mean, look, I'm fully accepting that there might be a very real possibility the NHL Central Scouting might know something I don't. But I look for myself and I don't really factor this stuff into my, like Valentini didn't move down my list, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know. I thought he was solid in the game I saw, maybe not unbelievable. I think he does have flaws, but whatever. But in general, like, I mean, Brooks Rogowski as a first round pick would be
that's a name.
Interesting. That is a name. He is but go look how big he is. 6'6", 7, something like that. Yeah, so,
the meme.
Yeah,
I don't even know the meme. I only know because of South Park.
Yeah, I know. I watched that episode last night. It was a good one.
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
Peter Thiel knows the Antichrist, you know.
And he
shout out Peter Thiel.
Antichrist.
If he's watching, he's probably watching this. Honestly,
yeah, he's surveilling
Peter
everything.
Thiel's weirdness. But anyway, yeah, he's surveilling everything. But yeah, Brooks Rogowski, I haven't taken a detailed look at him, but I've seen him a bunch of times over the last 2 years, and I don't know. I mean, someone mentioned that he might be this year's like Jack Nesbitt this year. Was that in the chat somewhere? And like I could, yeah, Rogowski is the next Jack Nesbitt. Yeah, I mean, I could. I mean, Rogowski. My notes on him, you could, if you have a Puck Prep subscription, you can go check it out. But I wrote, he was on one of the teams that I covered this summer at a USA Hockey tournament, and he didn't really do a whole lot in any of the games that I watched. But he took a pass from a guy on an offensive zone entry, put the puck between his legs, got around two guys, and roofed it. And I went, where is that? Like, he is sort of a discount Ethan Belchitz, where I'm just like, whoa, this is. Oh, that was weird.
I think the Jays might have done something good because I heard my brother scream.
Oh yeah. But I mean, other than that, like not a whole lot really surprised me about like the A levels. I don't know. I see the anchoring. There's anchoring on Ryan Rubrek. I would have him as more of a B right now. Klepov I have as a fringe A, I would say. I didn't really think much of JP Hurlburt when I saw him, so maybe I downgrade him to a C or something like that. Other than that, though, I mean, there's a bunch of guys in the B tier that I've never seen before. I saw Casey Mutrin again today, and he was great. I still really think there's a ton to work with him as an NHL player. Who else is on this list? Gleb Pugachev is on here. I love that guy. Another Gleb. Yeah, another Gleb. Got to deal with that.
He's got poo in his name. So
yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be awesome.
Except it's PU, unfortunately. The PU. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like Landon Hafley, I still don't know how to pronounce his name. I didn't bother to go look because I am a fool. But yeah, Lars Steiner is another.
Never listen to the commentary either.
No, I don't. Yeah. Hey. I did listen to the commentary today on a game to learn a guy's name, and there was no commentary. So that's what I get for trying to go the extra mile, right?
That's the biggest middle finger.
That's what I get.
You could get.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, like, for any real degenerates out there, a guy like Adam Anderson is a guy who I've loved, and he's a C-ranked player. But, like, this is going to change, right? How many players are on this list, right? 465. So like a large number of these guys will not be on their list by the end of the year. It's just the way she goes. Viggo Sorensen is on here as a W, so there you go. That's a good one for all you like real degenerates. If you want to go watch 4th Division Swedish hockey, that kid is the real deal in 4th Division Swedish hockey, but still a good player. Are there any prospects for the 2020? Oh, wait, no, I scrolled too fast. I scrolled too far. No, I didn't. Are there any prospects for the 2026 draft that currently stand out because of their physicality? Any Eddie Yenborgs or Brady Martins? I mean, Mutrin, I would say is one of them. I think he's like the big, long stride, fast, heavy, physical player, but has some good skill to him as well. I mean, I have him in a similar range to where I had Brady Martin last year. He's not the same type of player, and he's not a center, but I think he brings a lot of similar sort of traits. What do we got here? And yeah, I mean, let me just. Oh man, I got lost in my spreadsheet here. Yeah, like the physical guys that I've seen so far, at least. I mean, Belchitz is developing that, I think, more and more as time goes on. Pierce Mbui is a physical player. He's not big, but he definitely plays pretty physical. Who are the hits leaders? If you want a defenseman, Axel Brungle Larsen, a Norwegian guy in Sweden. He is a bit of a menace. Dennis the Menace back there. Who are the big hitters that I've seen so far in my very small sample? Hits.
You're welcome for making Will track hits.
Exactly. Yeah,
that was something that I got him to do.
Yeah. Lars Steiner. Yeah, Lars Steiner ran through everybody. A lot of the small guys, because that's how she goes.
Actually, yeah, it's like you want to stay in the lineup and like, hey, I might not be big, but I throw.
Yep. And
Nick Robertson throwing a lot of hits this year.
And you know what? It makes sense because I like the number. Like Anthony Stolarz just called out the Toronto Maple Leafs for being soft, right, and not protecting and just kind of floating around doing whatever. And the Toronto Maple Leafs modus operandi for years has been get tougher, get meaner, get nastier, and we're still talking about it in 2025. And you know why? Because you're doing it wrong. Like you're focused on the wrong things. It's like just because you get a 6'5" defenseman does not automatically make you a tougher team to play against. A guy like Lars Steiner running around and wanting to rip everybody's head off and also having some skill to him, that's what you need. Like you need like Ryan Brown, number 2 on this list. I don't know if anybody watches the Sarnia Sting, but Ryan Brown is, I don't know about like projectable NHL player, but exactly what I'm talking about. He would run through a wall to win a hockey game. Like you can just tell that he is just energy, physicality, nothing too concerning really about his game in terms of being a competitive hockey player. But in terms of projection to the NHL, that's the tough part. Ilya Morozov, I think, is another physical guy to keep your eye on. Who else? Oliver Suvanto maybe could be one of those. There's a few, there's a good chunk. Also among the higher levels of hits in the small sample that I have is Adam Valentini, by the way. So, there you go.
Big heart.
Yeah, big heart.
Because it's Valentini.
I've got my apple cider. We're feeling very Thanksgiving-y tonight.
Oh, really?
It's my.
What are you thankful for, Will?
What am I thankful for?
Yeah, let's try and generate another short.
I'm thankful for onion rings. I'm glad onion rings exist.
Oh, really?
Garlic.
I had garlic today, actually.
I did too. If the world didn't have garlic, I feel like we'd be at war a lot more.
Yeah, with the Romanians and all their vampires.
Right. Yeah, that's good point, honestly. Very good point. That is true. The vampires would have taken over long ago.
Yep. It's all because we have garlic breath that they can't come out.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm thankful that the internet is a thing and I'm trying to make a living using it, and that I have folks who are interested in what I'm doing.
Just buy us a million coffees. That's all.
Yeah, just buy us a billion coffees.
Why not?
I gotta buy the dip on my quantum computing stocks. Give me my $1 billion.
New dog coming into my house.
True. Yeah.
Even though it's all going to be paid for and free. It's a breeding dog.
What are you thankful for? What is your?
I'm thankful that my mom's getting the dog for free. That's what I'm thankful for.
Fair. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
I'm thankful that I'm gonna have an icebreaker where maybe I will get approached instead of having to do the approaching.
AJ wants to be accosted in public, so if anyone ever sees him in public, be sure to accost him.
I would love that. If people were to recognize me on the street. I mean, I should put my face cam on if that's something that is really important.
Right.
But one day be recognized, that'd be cool.
If you're ever in
Etobicoke,
if you're ever in the middle of Etobicoke,
you'll probably not find me in the middle of Etobicoke.
Yeah.
You're more likely to find me in Liberty Village.
Yeah. But yeah, good to know. Good stuff. Thankful for lots, Thoughts on Nikita Klipov. Oh boy, the Blue Jays are win the game challenge. Let's see where this goes.
It's a fun game so far, actually.
It is. Yeah. Thoughts on Nikita Klipov? Interesting player. Fringe first rounder for me right now. Really, really skilled. I love the sort of agility in his game. He's a little herky jerky. And what I mean by that is like He's a very choppy skater from what I've seen. Like, he isn't the fastest or most escape focused player. I think he's going to need to make his plays outside the offensive zone really, really quickly. He's got a wicked shot. Like, his wrist shot is quick and really, really accurate. I really love the sort of deception and the skill in his game. Like, he's a very hard player, I think, to read, because it looks like he's just flying all over the place on you and really unpredictably moving around. And I don't know how much that'll work at higher levels, but for now, I mean, yeah, I see how he's producing so well. Really, really interesting player. I've only seen him a few times. Well, actually, I've seen him quite a bit. I saw him a lot at the Holinka and at a summer tournaments, and last year with the not the Buccaneers, the Musketeers. He was pretty solid. But I mean, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to keep an eye on him, because he's a guy who I feel like will produce a lot, but I'm not totally sold on super high end NHL upside. But he might be a nice bet on skill for me, late first, early second round, something like that. Why am I not watching the Jays? How do you know I'm not watching the Jays, man? How do you know?
2 outs, by the way. 2 outs.
Yeah, I'm watching the Jays. So yeah.
Struck out swinging.
If you're behind, here's the spoiler.
Yeah, well, come on, man. People, there's a good chance you're gonna get it spoiled in the chat anyways. I might as well tell you what's going. No, I'll tell you what's going on, and then you can look down, and people will understand why you're looking down. It's all good, unless you don't want it spoiled, in which case it's fine.
I don't care.
And they get out of the situation. There you go.
Any news on the development of Cullen Potter? Well, I've seen him with Arizona State a couple of times this year, and I think he's still just a really good player.
Is this because you're sad about your Calgary Flames being not good this year? Whoever this comment is.
No.
Do you remember when people were picking Calgary to make the playoffs?
Yeah,
or at least that was Rod Peterson.
I wouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. I mean, yeah, so obviously Arizona State dropping 2 to Augustana, I think they did this past week.
Oh, boy.
Not awesome, scoring 4 goals, and Potter had a point on one of them. But yeah, I mean, like, I remember I watched both of those Penn State games. Those were the first 2 games of the year for them. I mean, Arizona State has only won 2 games this year. I will not write off a player based on 6 games. I will give it time, and I believe in the player. I believe in the talent, and patience. Patience is a virtue. But he's a good player. I would love to see him at the World Juniors and just go off. It would be really nice to see him pop off at the World Juniors.
Yeah, he'll pull a Teddy Stiga and win the gold medal.
Who's gonna end up as Bedard's wingman?
Depends.
I mean, I don't know. Who has he been playing with this year mostly?
I don't know. Have they put him with Frank Nazar at all?
Nazar and let's see. Bertuzzi and Burakovsky, according to Daily Faceoff.
Well, Burakovsky I like.
Yeah, I see the logic behind that.
Bertuzzi's fine. Like, I like Bertuzzi. It's just, you have to make up for it with, like, you got to put him with fast players, and obviously Bedard's really fast. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all, actually.
Yeah, no. Who should be his wingman is
Ivan Demidov.
Oliver Moore.
Really, it should be Ivan Demidov.
Well, we don't need to beat that dead horse.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Bedard, I'm just gonna double check exactly who he's been playing with this year. Yeah, it looks like Burakovsky, Colton Dock, and Tyler Bertuzzi. He actually has not played with Nazar at all.
Frank Nazar's been their second line center, actually.
Yeah, that seems like a strange. I don't know. I like the Bedard at center thing. We'll see.
I don't hate them trying it, especially while they suck. Let them give it a shot.
I'm looking at his shot maps from the season so far, and it's just the same thing. All so much perimeter out the side of the face-off circle stuff.
But that's what he did in junior, Will. That's just, he hasn't changed. He's still super talented and can score from there sometimes, but it's that's just what he always did.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been however many games it's been, but I'm looking at these heat maps here and this these are not looking too good. And yeah, interesting.
I get Matthew Schaefer better than Connor Bedard.
I get the feeling that this guy should maybe should be a winger, and you put a guy like Frank Nazar on a line with him, right? Like
I like that idea.
I feel like you give that a try, you know. And if he scores 10 goals in 10 games, then I think you might know that there might be something there. But who knows? I mean, but I mean,
could you imagine Connor Bedard on a forecheck with the speed he has? Like,
yeah,
I feel like that. I think you're right in that he should be doing that, and maybe he takes the middle of the ice when they're in the offensive zone, but then he kind of shifts to the wing spot when they're defending. Like I think that's a fine way to do it, but it's like you can be a little more fluid in terms of how you deploy guys. Like it doesn't have to be as rigid.
Yeah,
and some guys just operate better in the center of the ice, but if he's not. If he's shooting from the perimeter anyways, it kind of doesn't matter if he's in the middle of the ice or not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. I always felt that Bedard would be not utilized as well as a center at the NHL level. And anyway, we're not talking about Connor Bedard, though. Like, that's not the...
I see the heat map. You sent it to me.
Oh, yeah, boy. I sent you his shot maps and, like, his possession.
Have one goal this year?
5-on-5. That's 5-on-5.
Okay.
But anyway, it is
one goal.
Yeah, it's tricky. But anyway, I would probably experiment with a different group of youngsters around Connor Bedard. Like it's his 3rd season, and I get the feeling that if you're the Chicago Blackhawks, like you should at least have a solid foundation of what that top unit is going to look like in 3 years. And like I don't think it's going to be Burakovsky, Bertuzzi, Bedard. I don't think that's the long-term solution there. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't think so, but it's
you might want to start putting guys.
For now,
you might
want
to You might want to start putting bodies together that are going to be, you know, your long-term plan there, and try to build something for the future here. Anyway,
Anton Frundell, baby, Anton.
Gonna need some Oliver Suvanto talk. Sure, okay. I mean, good player. I've seen him a few times. I loved him at the Holinka tournament. A guy who I did not know a thing about. And really was impressive there. And I was not super surprised. I was a little bit surprised, but not incredibly surprised that he went to the Liga right away. And he's a good complementary checking forward, I think. Like he's a solid physical player who I think is projectable. I'm not surprised Central Scouting likes him. And I've seen some good skill out of him at the junior level. Like I'm excited to see him again. I have to go get another game of his in the near future, so I'll get to that in the next week or two probably. But really intriguing player who I think is a nice projectable player to the NHL. But I don't, the last Finnish guy that I kind of felt that way about was like an Anton Lundell, and I'm not sure he's that quite of a player yet. He's also very young for this draft class too. Like I think he's again one of the younger guys, which works in his favor as well. So we'll see where he is by the end of the year, but he's a good one. I think I'm very curious about what he's going to look like by the end of the year. Rank these Blues prospects: Snuggerud, Dvorsky, Stenberg, Lindstein, Carbonneau. Well, I mean, it depends on what you think is good. What is a good player? I mean, if you ask me, I feel like Snuggerud is the top one of that group. And that's coming from someone who was pretty low on Snuggerud in his draft year. I think for what he is, he's very, very good at it. I think all of those players, you can say very similar things. Like there are things that they do and they are all like good at it, but then there are gaps in their games. Like, I mean, I'd say the only one you maybe couldn't say that about is Lindstein, but that's because he's just like really solid. Like there's not really a flaw in his game because he just kind of plays a really stable and safe overall defensive game, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think Stenberg has the highest overall upside of all of these players, but he really seems to be having an issue dealing with like the speed and the physicality of the men's league games, and I'm not sure exactly why or how, based on what I remember of him when he was a junior. But to be his style of player, you need to be real good, and we will see. That might be one of those skill guys that just didn't get there at the end of the day, but I'll still believe because he is a lot of fun to watch. Dvorsky, I think, will play. I think Dvorsky's going to be an NHL player, but I don't I don't think he's what people think he's going to be. Like, I think he's more of a bottom six checking center where there's some, you put him on a power play and he cranks slap shots, he's going to score goals, but I just feel like the pace of the game and his feet are just really heavy. And I feel like it might be a lot for him to be a super productive offensive player in the NHL, but I think he does have the strength and the sort of like Boulder-esque ability up the middle of the ice to be a bottom six center, Carbonneau,
the heat maps you sent.
Yeah, so that's I sent you his possession.
Oh boy,
not so good so far.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But yeah, I mean, but with Carbonneau is like the skeleton riding the flaming motorcycle off the cliff, hoping he's going to make it to the other side, right? Like that's the like ride or die level player. Like he is so skilled and so creative and has so much offensive upside, but it's just like it's a long way away. Like in terms of what his role could be, like his defensive abilities, like those are all question marks. But in the NHL, I feel like you plant him in your top six on the wing and you just go, you know what? Let the other guys do all the work. You just, work high in the defensive zone, work the puck through the neutral zone, get set up in the offensive zone and put the puck in the net.
Mm-hmm.
He's very creative, very skilled, and he can do that kind of thing. So intriguing group of players, to say the least, with all different things that they bring and that they don't bring. But yeah, interesting. I think Snuggerud is the probably surest bet out of all of those. It's like he's already kind of a top 6 or top 9, but and a decent one. But
Denberg might be the most fun.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Speaking of relevant Canes stuff, Serrato's start is notable. Yes, I mean Charlie Serrato has been off to a rip and start in the NCAA. Yeah, I mean I it's funny. Like I remember when Serrato was a draft eligible, and I liked him that year. He flirted with my list on and off, but I thought he was like a small, skilled guy who played too compact of a game and didn't really have the escape speed or the agility to be an NHL level player. And he's just gotten kind of better and better and better. And yeah, I mean, we'll give it some time. Like we talked about Gavin McKenna having a very light October schedule. And it seems like if anything, Charlie Serrato's the guy benefiting from a very light schedule for them. And he's been filling the net. But a good player nonetheless. Like that's a good, skilled offensive player. Another one for the Carolina Hurricanes to play around with. And
that's why they don't win cups, because they only got skill players.
Exactly, yeah. They have too many good hockey players. They don't have enough physical tough boys.
As my mentor, John Shannon, would say. The guy, and this was before Johnny Gaudreau had passed, he said, I don't think he's got a Stanley Cup in him. And it was mainly because it's like, I don't think he's big enough was part of the discussion. Like, he doesn't have it, which I'm like, I love John. He taught me a lot, but we disagreed on a lot when it came to hockey. He once had me explain what Corsi was for the entire class, and he called it stupid.
It is stupid. The man's not wrong.
It is kind of dumb, but it's just
you don't
funny.
need any statistics. You just sit and watch like a real man. Don't think about anything.
It's stupid if you use it as like an end-all be-all stat, but I think it's interesting to figure out what shot attempt differentials, like who leads in shot attempt differentials and why.
Nope. Watch the game. Nope.
I also didn't explain it very well because I had never explained what Corsi was, and I didn't do like the most I didn't do a particularly good job. I'm just like, hey, it calculate like one team shoots, it just compares it to another. Like I should have just said it's just shot attempt differentials. But I was on the spot, and I explained it poorly, and he's like, "See, isn't that effing stupid?" That's what he said. Isn't that effing stupid?
Sign of a good teacher. Yeah, calling people stupid.
No, he wasn't calling me stupid. He was calling Corsi stupid.
Right. Well,
he told when I did the interview with him, like we had reviews. So he brought me in with the president of our college. He's like, I don't want to feed your ego, so I'm not going to tell you all that much. That's what he said when I sat down. He's like, you're really good, and I'm leaving it at that.
Smart man.
Yeah, smart man.
Yeah.
Love you, John. Even though you would probably raise an eyebrow at me saying that.
John Shannon would never raise a mouth to me, considering all the stats that I use.
Dude,
if he thinks Corsi is
when I was in first
until
year,
he gets a low to me.
When I was in first year, he would just look at, like, because he was a second year teacher, he would just like he ignored me in first year. Like, I think I waved to him and he just like, but he just did the shoulder shrug and then walked by me.
Well, let's continue here.
Yeah,
Noah Kosick can land at Ammerheim. I haven't seen Ammerheim in a while. I mean, I remember him being just a very tall and lanky guy, but I am going to take a closer look at him because I honestly forgot he existed. But I do remember him with the JP Hurlburt on that Dallas Stars team, and he stuck out as like a pretty interesting sort of skill guy with some good skating ability for a big guy. He didn't do much in the couple of games that I did, but I remember noting him a bunch of times for the non-point actions, NBAs. But a good, interesting player, and we'll take a closer look at him before too long. But I can't give you a detailed answer. We talked about Kosick a little earlier. Intrigued by him. A very interesting development case where he was very tiny a couple of years ago and became much less tiny in the last 6 to 12 months. And getting a big role with Swift Current, and he's looking pretty good doing it, I would say. But I think it's too early for me to really get on the bus with him.
Sadly, it is 2-1 Mariners now, Mr. Building. Mr. Gulim.
Thoughts on Bowie and Vandenberg? I love Vandenberg, man. Thomas Vandenberg is one of the more underrated guys, I think, this year. Like, he's a center, Ottawa 67s. I don't think they've lost a game yet. And he's just been a really good, dynamic, skilled offensive player. Brings some good energy on both sides of the puck. There's not much I can really point to in his game that I don't like. He is a little bit small and plays a game that maybe is a little bit bigger than he is. But at the end of the day, I think there's a lot to work with here. And yep, I just saw it. That's a dong all the way to the all the way to the lower deck. Yeah, big
donger.
Yep. A gong shot. Anyway.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. Ding dong. Some Mariners are here. Okay. But yeah, Bowie I do like a lot. But again, he's small and plays a big person's game, you know, and I don't know if he has the like skill and evasiveness to be an NHL player at that level, but I really like him. Like, he's just so much fun to watch, and there's a lot of skill and a lot of energy in his game, and I work off of that right off the top. But in terms of yeah, like I feel like there's got to be more there that hasn't come out yet this season, especially with regards to like finishing and such. But at the end of the day, it's still very early in the year. I like him, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know about Serrato being too good for the NCAA. I mean, he is extremely good for that level, but like, again, I think you really got to be careful because, like, what does that say, right? Is Serrato, you know, I don't think the NCAA being is a 1-to-1 comparison. I think Serrato being still a little bit of a more compact sort of push guys on their heels type player, but maybe not super tested in terms of physical pressure and such. Like, I think it remains to be seen. And also, it's still very early in the year, and they've had a pretty easy schedule the last little while from what I last checked. So we'll see, you know.
Yeah, let's also see how teams adjust to him too. Like, and I'll go back to the Matthew Schaefer stuff we were talking about early. Let's also see how teams adjust to Matthew Schaefer now that he's in the league as well, because it does matter. Like, once you become a legit threat, no matter your position, no matter the league, like, everybody knows about sophomore slump issues, and I'm not saying like this is another year. How many years has he actually been in the NCAA, Will? Is this his second?
Serrato? Yeah, it's his second.
We'll see how teams adjust, because once guys start to emerge, it's all about making adjustments. So can you sustain what you're doing?
Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, 2 games against Clarkson, 2 games against Long Island University, 2 games against Arizona State, and Arizona State has won 2 games, you know.
Yeah,
I think it's just too early. And again, that's coming from someone who's liked Charlie Serrato for a long time. You know, but hey, I'm not gonna yuck someone's yum about having such a good season for a 20-year-old, or a good start, I should say. And yeah, I mean that's the case that was. Oh wait, no, where am I here? Yeah, but that was the case with Serrato. Is like, yeah, the Carolina Hurricanes saw his production and looked at him and said, well, you know, if he were eligible 2 years ago and we drafted him 40th overall, would we like what we saw this year? And the answer to that clearly was yes. And so yeah, I get it. I mean, for me, Serrato just I didn't see enough of him last year, honestly, to know really what was going on there. I just figured small, skilled guy scoring a bunch in the NCAA NHL teams might not be interested in that, but clearly the Carolina Hurricanes, as I should have expected, believe differently.
One of the better ones at that.
He was, yes. We mentioned it briefly in the Discord, but how have your viewings of Fedosiev been? I haven't seen him in a while. I'm going to take a look at him in the near future, probably later this week, but he's again, like a really intriguing, skilled center, or a skilled defenseman, sorry, who has some pretty good offensive tools. And I just wonder, right? Like the defense in Russia is, you know, not the greatest, and his, you know, like the passiveness in his game kind of concerns me a little bit, but he's not a bad player. Like there's a lot of underlying fundamentals there that I really, really like. I haven't seen him in a little while, but I do want to check him out a lot more between now and the end of the year, because he did really interest me last year as well. And the fact that he's in the VHL, I think that's probably where he should be, and just like let him sink or swim and just let him play. But I don't have control over it. Any weird nationalities deep on Central scouting list? I mean, you've got Simas Ignatievičius as a W, and he is a Lithuanian. Let's take a look. I don't think there would be any players from Spain on that list, unfortunately, for your desires. I mean, the fact that there's the 4th division Swedish player on there is kind of crazy already. Let me just pull it up here.
Is there a Hockey-Etten guy on there?
I don't think so. I'll double check. Let me just pull up the PDF now.
The greatest league of all time?
Yeah. Sweden 3. No, there is nobody there. But yeah, I mean, you've got, let's see. I mean, you're going to have to scroll all the way to the bottom here. But like, I don't know. Ignatievičius is the one for sure that sticks out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to scroll through this whole thing on stream, but I'm not seeing anything too crazy or too out of pocket here in general. I mean, I'm just looking at a lot of these names and I'm going, geez, Adam Valentini was put amongst these players, and that's pretty wild. But maybe I'll feel the same way in 8 months. Who knows? Yeah, there's Ignatievičius. I don't know. There's a guy named Kanju, but that's Hiroki Gosic's younger brother.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah, Kanju Kosick.
Yeah. It sounds like a Jewish Khan. Like
yeah.
Like the Avarian hordes.
Yeah.
Way back in the days.
Way back. All right. Yeah, that's enough of that. But yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Also, Viktor Fyodorov, C grade. Just saw that as I closed it. That's interesting. Okay. Any thoughts on Zach Nyman and Ethan Garden? Yeah, I mean, they're two little guys. Nyman, I feel like, is not... I had him on the list to track, and I tracked him, and I didn't really like him all that much. I mean, there's good skill there. He's a decent skater, but again, like, if you're that size, you really gotta, you know... Like, if Thomas Galvis doesn't even get drafted after everything he's done, I don't think Zach Nyman's going to get drafted, even though he's Canadian. Like, I just don't know. I don't think he's got enough offense in his blood in terms of pinching in the offensive zone, working off of defensive structures and trying to penetrate them and everything. Like, it's more of just peppering the net with shots from the perimeter that aren't super threatening, and bit of skill here and there, but he just didn't. And like, the defensive game was a real question mark for me. Ethan Garden is fun. I have him on the list to track at some point, because every time I've watched Windsor this year, he sticks out as someone who's an entertaining player to watch. But again, like, being 5'8" and more offensively focused, the bar is really, really high. So I'm not gonna say like for sure it's not an option, but he every time I've seen Windsor this year, which is quite often because they have a lot of draft eligibles, he's been intriguing and fun, but I'm not sure about like, NHL next small king guy, but we'll see. I'm going to take a look. Valentina reminds me a little bit of another Eklund with his work rate, but not skilled. Yeah, I could kind of see where you're coming from. I don't think he's quite Victor Eklund, for example, but yeah, I see he's kind of like discount Victor Eklund. Yeah, like Timu or Sheehan, Victor Eklund. But an interesting one nonetheless. I mean, I don't know. I certainly would draft him before the 6th or 7th round based on what I've seen. Bedard's wingman has not been drafted yet. Yeah, I mean, you could argue he could have been, but we're not going to go there.
And should have been.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
We already did. We're
not going to keep.
We're not going back, but we already did.
We already did. We have. I mean, the next comment is from Ann Brian Stewart about the Blackhawks. Yeah, I mean, yes, they did deny themselves the chance at a Demidov-Bedard pairing.
Hey, but they allowed me to go see him in Montreal, so thank you, Chicago Blackhawks.
That's true.
For making my night a little bit better. He scored a point.
When I asked about Bedsy's wingman, I was kind of thinking about this coming draft. Well, I mean, might have some. I mean, Tynan Lawrence is the very easy option. I would say him with a Connor Bedard would be an easy choice.
A Mathis Preston even.
Yeah, I could see a Preston, but maybe
I just don't think Connor Bedard and Gavin McKenna make much sense together.
No, maybe, but
no, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't know. I mean, like you need a center, right? I mean, yes. I think that if you have a good, like if it's a mid first round pick or something, they add another one, a Jack Hextall with a Connor Bedard would be gross because you can kind of let Bedard fly around and Hextall can kind of be that field general up the middle. There's a lot of good ones like that out there. I mean, a Belchet's might be an interesting pickup, but he's not necessarily like, Belchet's might be an interesting one because he can work off of a guy like Bedard really well, who's more skatey oriented, shooting oriented, and so is Belchet's too. But like they could play off of each other. It's a tough question to answer, honestly. I don't really know.
It also depends on what you see Connor Bedard as and what the Blackhawks.
Yeah, like what do you think he is?
Like, is he a center or is he a wing?
Yeah,
we think wing. It makes more sense, but Chicago is going to want to try and have him be a center, and I think that makes a lot of sense from their perspective that you draft a guy first overall who's supposed to be this generational talent. You want a center.
Just give me Oliver Moore. Just try it.
Yeah,
give me Oliver Moore.
Please.
See how that goes.
It'd be so much fun.
I know it's a weaker American class, but do you think there are any draft eligible Americans who will make the World Junior team? Someone mentioned Chase Reed. I don't know. Like the U.S. national team this year. Let's see. Who would that be? Like on the defense group. Because outside of, I don't like the highest ranked Americans I have are Reed, Mutrin, Hextall, Hafela, Landon Nitch. I don't think any of those guys are making the World Junior team, and I think Chase Reed is the closest. But you're looking at I think you're going to have a pretty good group of American defensemen there, especially if like a guy like Aziz Bouyam gets loaned back. Oh no, he can't. He's too old. My mistake. But yeah, like Cole Hudson will be there, I would think. Luke Osborne might be there. That would be fun. Ooh. That would make Sam happy. Sam McGillicuddy.
We gotta have Sam on one of these days.
We do. EJ Emery might make that team. Drew Schock maybe makes that team. I won't be the
loudest guy here.
That's true.
I feel better about myself.
It's true. That guy's Swedish.
For a second, I thought you meant Sam.
No.
I was like, no, that guy's just stupid. No, I love Sam.
There will be guys who were there last year that will return. Let's see. Like I think Adam Kleber was on that team last year, and he'll probably be back. Last year's U.S. under, yeah. So Hudson, Hensler will be back. Hudson, Hensler, Kleber, those are all the eligible returnees. Chase Reed might be part of that group, maybe. He'll probably be in camp. It's not an impossibility. I'll say that. You know, it's not impossible. And yeah, it is crazy that he used to be in the NAHL last year, and now he might be a top 20 pick. Like, he's really high on my list right now, and I was really impressed with him. And AJ, you saw him. We were watching him together, but I don't know how much you were. Chase Reed?
Yeah.
I don't know how much you were paying attention, but that's okay.
Probably not paying much attention because I don't remember his name. Sometimes I don't pay attention. You know, ADHD is hard and all.
Right. Of course.
Did we watch Chase Reed together?
I think so. Oh yeah, Jacob Rombach is the guy. Yeah, that also could be on that team very well be on that team, because he was also there in the Summit Series or the Summer Series and played a lot. I think.
Where's Dakota playing in the Chase Reed playing in? Because I don't remember what league he's in. Is he playing a CHL league?
Yeah, he's on the Greyhounds.
Ah, yes. Okay, I remember.
He's a Sioux boy.
I remember. Okay, because I remember saying, so is this the guy who Kyle Dubas drafts? That's what I think I said.
Yeah.
Because two Greyhounds, baby.
Dakota Rayom Johnson. Yeah, he might be one. I don't know, because I feel teams generally don't look at guys it's like you've got Cole Hudson and Dakota Rayom Johnson on the team. It's like, do you want two guys like that? You know, I see maybe why a team might not, but I would disagree. I would think that a guy like Rayon Mullen will be in camp, but I wouldn't pencil him in for a job. It really seems like USA Hockey structures their defense largely around we have a couple of guys that we can hand the puck to and they can do stuff and try stuff, but by and large, we want bigger, safer, defensive-focused guys who run breakouts safely and all that stuff. And to me, that just doesn't sound like Rayon Mullen, but we'll see. If you were, what do you think of Jackson Cover? I like him a lot. I think Cover is a really impressive player. I think there's a lot of upside there, especially for an OHL rookie. Really, I mean, mostly I think he is. I think he was in the minor in the Gouge last year. But yeah, he is a pretty solid, high energy guy with, I think, a bit of skill to him. I think he's a guy who, once he fills out a little more, he's only 175 pounds or something at 6'2". And that's a pretty lanky kid still. So once he fills out, I think he does have quite a bit there. Yeah, he's a rookie in the OHL and doing decently well. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what he can do. I've seen him a couple of times. I like him. You know, he brings a lot of good traits to the game, and I think he fits what London is all about pretty well. And I think he just keeps getting better as time goes on. Yes.
No, I just saw a question that I like. Now I got to think about
it. If you were an agent, why would you send your kid to the NTDP if he was going to be in their bottom six? Hefel, Epperson, Serrato, Weirmare, Bernovic, all of them exploded after they left. I mean, I think the thing that happened was, it's kind of the beauty of the world we've built, where competition breeds more competition, right? Like the NTDP reformatted themselves and made themselves a very modern, skill-focused enterprise. And they had some banger years where they had
absolutely
they were ahead of the curve.
Cole Caulfield, Trevor Zegras were on a team together.
Just top to bottom skill. And it's very prestigious, obviously, to play on the national team. But I think other teams in the USHL and now the CHL is pretty attractive. Like Hurlburt would have been on the under-18 team this year, but he went to the CHL. But anyway,
it's an attractive option now. Way more.
It's more, and it's attractive even in the USHL, where it's like, you're right. Like Charlie Serrato was a fourth liner on the NTDP, and Youngstown put him on their first line, and Youngstown, he fits what they're all about to a T, right? Like he's exactly what they thrive on. Those sort of high pace skill guys that they might be a little bit not physical and a little bit compact and all that stuff, but they make it work, especially at that level. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like you look at the NTDP and yeah, I think it's just more about like other places becoming equally attractive now. Other places have grown what their resources are because they have to, like in terms of competition, right? Like, do you want a better team? Well, you better, copy some of the things that USA Hockey is doing.
Also, it's like you have a pathway to the World Juniors and international tournaments by playing on the NTDP program, because it's like you play together with guys who you'll play with in those tournaments. Yeah. Also, like, wasn't Cutter Gauthier a third line guy on the NTDP team?
I remember him kind of bouncing around.
Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he was a third line guy for a part of that year, because I remember liking Cutter Gauthier a lot, and then the hype train getting out of control.
I mean, I do know as well, like working with puck preps and stuff, like the roster selection too seems to have tipped a little bit in the, like, again, look at the way the NHL is going, right? Like I just said, the NTDP defense group, there's like the Cole Hudsons of the world. There isn't one this year. I don't think there even was one last year. Like those dynamic offensive guys with great feet, and they're allowed to sort of pinch offensively and really spread themselves out a little bit. That doesn't really exist on the US team this year. Like AJ Francisco, maybe once in a while.
Oh, there's another AJ?
There is an AJ this year, believe it or not. Yeah. But like their defense group often tends to be bigger and more defense leaning and safer and basic. And that just seems to be the way a lot of the NHL is going, or a lot of the way hockey is going. And sort of not betting on these skilled guys as much. And I think that just means they go elsewhere, right? Like it's like, and it's that whole thing of like, do we want a skilled player on our third line? And if the answer to that is no, which I think it is for a lot of people, then those skilled players are going to go be top 6 guys somewhere else, right? And that makes sense. And I know some of it too also is that some of the players that have left were very unhappy about their situation and maybe didn't handle it super well. And so when they got out of it, it sort of reprogrammed their brains a little bit, but who knows? I'm going to Google if this person's name is real, because the username checks out as a troll. Yeah, this is not a real person. I knew it.
Is it David Phillips who tried to trick you?
No, it is not. Someone else is trying to take up the reins because David doesn't come here anymore. We must have said something that offended him too much.
No, David is living in the UK right now, so that is why he is not here all the time.
Gross.
Yeah, he is studying abroad, so he can't make all the streams.
All right,
but Mr. Degenerate J Mulk comes in still, and we love you.
That's what Thursday is for, I suppose. The afternoon delight. I did not just say that. Let's just scratch that from the
sky rockets in flight.
Let's
woo! Afternoon delight.
Yep. That happened.
I'll stop. I can't help myself. I like that song.
Ivar Stenberg or Anton Frundell?
Name Ivar Stenberg.
Yeah.
That's way
it's
cooler.
hard. It's hard because they are complementary. Stenberg is, I might lean Frundell, but it's close. Like, I think Stenberg is a better skill first player, and I think he's a better puck controller in other areas of the ice than Frundell is, but he's not the same quality of finisher, I don't think. And I don't think Stenberg is I think less physical, but still very valuable defensive player too. Like at the SHL level, I was really impressed with just his motor and energy and stick checking ability. And Frundell is just more of a physical first player, and there's nothing wrong with that. He gets the job done. So they're kind of like two sides of a similar coin in a way to me. And I feel like, Frundell was in a tier for me that stretched from 3 to 7 or something like that. And I think he was 7. And Stenberg is at like in the top 5 for me, a top 6. So it's like similar-ish. And I have another game of his to do probably in the next 2 days as well. So I'll know more then as well. But a good player nonetheless. Like I've liked him, and I liked Frundell last year as well. They're just different, but same but different. Yeah, Connor Bedard and Gavin McKenna, 150 goals for, 160 goals against. Yeah, I mean, maybe. But no, I mean, it would be fun though. That would be fun. I don't know if it would work, but it would be fun. Thoughts on Yegor Shilov and Alexei Vlasov? Shilov is definitely very, 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 very skilled. He gets the green light to do just about anything on that team, and he can pull a lot off, but I don't know if it's projectable. Like, I like him. I love him for the creativity that he has. There's a lot that I think he has going for him, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the game that I saw, but it was slow, plodding skill that I just find hard to project. And I'll check in on him again a couple more times, but time will tell. We shall see. And on the other guy, what was the other one? Vlasov. I have a similar feeling about him, just a little more pessimistic, honestly. A little more pessimistic. Top 5 favorite Toronto Maple Leafs of all time. Oh, AJ,
yeah, I have a list.
You're gonna need to start.
I have a list. William Nylander, William Nylander, William Nylander, William Nylander, William Nylander. No, but in all seriousness, number 1 is William Nylander. Number 2 is Austin Matthews. Number 3, Matt Sundin. You're going to learn something about me. I'm a very young man. Number 4 is Mitch Marner, and number 5 is Morgan Riley. Like, those are my 5 guys, because those are the guys that have mattered the most to me in my lifetime. Jason Blake would have also been I loved Jason Blake when I was a kid. John Tavares is also on this list, like on the long list. I loved Nick Antropov as a kid as well. Nazem Kadri would be a guy that I would consider for this as well. Thomas Cabriolet, like these are the guys that I love. But Nylander, Matthews, Sundin, Marner, Riley, those are my guys.
Jeez, I'd say Brian Leach. Ron Francis.
But number 1? Come on, man. Who's your number? Come on, William Nylander's your number 1. Let's be real.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Nylander. I'd say Matthew Sundin /
yeah,
Alexander McGillney.
Okay, yeah.
Another one. Oh,
Jeff O'Neill. You got to put Jeff O'Neill.
Yeah, Jeff O'Neill for sure is up there. Scott Lawton. No.
Fraser McLaren, Colton Orr.
I got a good one. I got one.
Okay.
Brian Berard.
Okay.
Elite before he almost lost an eye. But Brian Berard, his career was just getting started before he almost went blind. And that kid, I remember when he was a Leaf, and he was unreal. And yes, Brian Leach was a Toronto Maple Leaf. Google it. What a time to be alive that was. But anyway, I mean, I also will specify like the Leafs that I remember watching, because I definitely wasn't around for Boreas Salming, but I remember watching some old Leaf games from the 70s, and Salming is so good.
Yeah, if it was like
he was
Salming
the Paul Coffey
awesome.
of the 1970s, dude. Man. He was sick.
Or if I was around for Boreas Salming, he'd probably be 4 on my list.
Yeah, and everybody would have hated him.
He's my grandmother's favorite Leaf.
Oh, he's the best.
And he was awesome. He was so good. I had to do a feature on him, and I had to I went back and watched some tape, and I was like, holy shankies. This guy is so good. And I loved watching Salming. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
also I gotta add Alex Steen to the conversation as well. I was around for Alex Steen when he was there.
You're not a Lee Stempniak guy?
No. Screw Lee Stempniak.
Oh, wow.
For a time, my favorite Leaf was Anton Strawman. That's how depressing the Leafs were at one point.
Nice.
Anton Strawman was my favorite Leaf for a time. Shoot me.
Eric Lindros was a Toronto Maple Leaf. That's a good one.
But not when I was paying attention.
No. You were 7, I think, when that happened. No, but in all seriousness though, like for me, in no order, like Nylander, Matthews, McGillney, Sundin, and honorable mention Brian Berard and Felix Potvin, I would say. Felix Potvin. Doug Gilmour too is a really good one.
Doug
Gilmour was a killer.
A good one.
Yeah. Mark Arcobello, yeah, that's a good one too.
It's just hard,
Joey Crab.
Yeah, I'm just picking the guys that like I grew up with, and Matt Sundin was my favorite Leaf when I was a kid because he was the best. He was literally the only good player on the team for a long time, and I got to see one Matt Sundin game, and I'm really happy I did. I remember my first NHL game. I actually found the highlights for that game, and I have saved it's in my favorites. A 2008 game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers, where the Leafs went down 2-0, and with just over a minute left in the third period, Nick Andropov scored to take the lead, and the Leafs won that night. So never forget it. That's why Nick Andropov, I also liked Alexei Ponikarovsky as a kid as well.
Oh yeah. He was fun. The Ukrainian machine. I gotta also say that Nick Andropov definitely has one of my favorite elite prospects pages of all time.
Kazakhstan, greatest country in the world.
This is a guy that in his draft year played for the Kazakh under-18 team, which was in the lowest division of under-18 hockey that year. He's played 5 games. You tell me how many goals and assists he had in 5 games. This was right before he became a 10th overall pick, by the way.
He had
in 5
27
games.
goals, and let's go with 20 assists.
Remarkably close.
Nice.
23 goals and 31 assists. He had 10 points a game. Almost 11 points a game. I need to find out what happened in this tournament. I need to know.
I undershot his points.
So, oh my goodness. So Kazakhstan as a team, how many goals did they score in this tournament in 5 games? Goodness gracious me, oh my.
Actually, Nick Robertson makes my list. No, I'm kidding. I'll keep Morgan Riley in because I love Morgan Riley. I really do. You don't get a Morgan Riley jersey if you don't love Morgan Riley, and I'm a proud owner of a Morgan Riley jersey. I actually don't even have a Nylander jersey, which is insane because like my brother has been supposed to get get it printed on the back of my Drew jersey, so the black alternate jerseys for those who don't know, and he's a little bastard, and he hasn't done it. He's supposed to do it last year for my birthday. He's supposed to do it the year before for my birthday. But it's a lot harder than you would think to get that stuff done. Or we're just stupid.
Or all of the above. So, okay, this is actually really funny. I Googled it. I Wikipedia searched this tournament.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, I Wikipedia'd. The 1998 IIHF European Under-18 Championship. So it's only Europe. This is the first year Kazakhstan played. They left because they were tired of beating everybody in the Asian junior hockey tournament. So Kazakhstan, in the first round of 2, played. They beat Spain 19-2. They beat Iceland 63-0.
Woo!
They beat Luxembourg 39-0.
Oh boy.
And then in the second round, on the run up to winning a championship, they beat the Netherlands 14-1.
Oh
they beat Belgium 20-1.
Oh boy.
And they beat Spain 19-2. So they scored overall 174 goals and got scored on 6 times. And Nick
greatest country in the world.
Yeah, greatest country in the world.
All other teams in this division played with little girls.
So there you go. Sergei Berezin, may he rest in peace. That's another one. He was a really good Maple Leaf as well. He had his time in the sun.
Or played.
There's a lot of. I mean, that era had some good ones.
I meant
Those
to say
teams
play like little girls, but whatever.
Would
have been funnier.
This makes me wonder what guys like Rustam Yasurkanov is up to, or Inar Uteyev, or all these guys who played with Nick Andropov while Nick Andropov scored 10 points a game.
But I love that you and I both have the same top 2.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're great
because
players.
They're the greatest 2 players in
Maple
Leafs history, in my opinion, and I don't care what anybody says.
Sundin was a hell of a player.
Yes, that's why he's number 3 on my list.
Brian Leach was a hell of a player. Ron Francis, hell of a player. Joe Nieuwendyk, hell of a player.
Yeah, but they're not as iconic, at least in my lifetime.
Phil Oreskovich.
Also, screw you, Bob McCowan, for saying Dave Keon's more important than Matt Sundin. Matt Sundin all the way, man. I don't care.
I have no opinion on that because I was Dave Keon was retired many years. I'm not that old. He retired many years before.
But he said it like all you 5-year-olds is what he said who think Matt Sundin should be number 1 are crazy. And I was 13 at the time. Damn it! Don't tell me I'm 5. Pitchfork.
Yes.
Take off your sunglasses and show your ugly eyes for once.
Thoughts on Alexander Command? I like him. Interesting center, pretty skilled, has some good pace up the middle. I need more out of him, honestly. I've seen him a few times, and when I track data on him, he just kind of wasn't as involved in play as I would like. But as a puck controlling centerman who can get up and down the ice really effectively and sort of chip in on both sides of the puck, I liked him. And I think there's some nice upside there, and I will keep an eye on him, but a good one. An interesting one that he's on my, I think he's in my second round right now.
Is he?
Third round? Let's see. Colma, or is he on the watch list? Yeah, he's a watch list guy for me right now. But good player, though. Like a fun, high-pace guy up the middle that I like. But I will take a closer look at him again. David Phillips is locked in J Milk's basement. What do you know? Somehow I feel like that's right up the character alley for J Milk. He seems like the kind of person that would lock an exchange student in the basement.
Hey, well, you used to make jokes that I was locked in your basement and you were feeding me a single frozen fish steak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never said that I wasn't also a degenerate. If anything, I'm extraordinarily degenerated.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
you're a DJ.
Yeah. I am an extreme degenerate. Yep.
That's why you do physiotherapy, because of all your degenerate.
Hey, I haven't had to be in physio for like a year. Okay.
Oh, congratulations!
Well, 7 months, I think, something like that. Okay.
Well, that's not quite a year.
My shoulder is fine. Look at what I can do. It only hurts a little bit.
Could you not do that before?
Not like full range of motion. It's still not great, but
I should probably get physio for my neck. I push it way too far forward because I'm sitting in it. Yeah, dude, it's like that because I'm sitting in editing all day or doing master control stuff.
Damn shame.
We have standing desks at work though, and I should use that more often.
You should. I have a standing desk right here, and I never use it, but it's fun. It's
fun when I play with it and it goes up and down.
This is how you know you're in your 30s. You get really excited that your desk can do this. Okay, let's put that back down. That's what I want. Oh, that's too low now. I don't like that either. Okay, there we go.
It didn't change the sound quality at all.
No, of course not. I have my mic turned up pretty loud.
Sick.
And any thoughts on Mikey Burchild? He was so good when he was 15. Elite. Yeah, I mean, like I like Mikey Burchild. He's just really small and plays really small, and I think he could be a great college player. I feel like he could be one of these Charlie Serrato type curves where, he's getting the opportunity on the NTDP, but he is super fun, super skilled, like Jeremy Wilmer style player. And I just don't know if it's going to project to the NHL, but I don't know. He's fine. I like him. I just don't know about NHL player. Like, I don't think I have him on my list anymore. I will take another look at him. Oh, I do. Is like a late second round pick. I could see, I guess, but I think he's the type of player that's going to like really need to blow the doors off of the guys he plays against to project to the NHL, and I'm not sure he quite does that. But he's a fun, dynamic, sort of skilled guy to watch for sure. Are the Blue Jays bigger in Toronto than the Raptors, or vice versa?
Probably
it's hard to say because they're offsetting seasons, right? I would say yeah.
I would say it's the Raptors in the city of Toronto, and then the Blue Jays are bigger in Canada, probably, in my opinion.
I mean, one thing Toronto does do really well is bandwagon fan. When the Jays are in the playoffs and doing well, they're losing this, but they've done really well so far.
It's not that big.
Yeah, I know, but like they've done really well, and that's everybody becomes a Jays fan. I mean, I'm wearing a friggin' Jays hat. I haven't watched a single game of Jays baseball during the regular season, but I will say I do love playoff baseball.
Yeah,
I don't care about the regular season, but like the pitcher versus batter battle showdown in the playoffs when it really matters is awesome. Like, one of my favorite sports moments of all time was at the last World Baseball Classic when it was Shohei Ohtani pitching to Mike Trout for the win.
Awesome.
That was so sick. And like, that's what I love about baseball.
Yeah,
162 cool. games a year. No, I don't like it.
Don't dig it. Don't dig it at all.
It's too much.
Expand the playoffs.
Yeah.
Seriously, expand.
True. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like the playoffs are short relatively.
Also, it's like you have this massive sample, and then in the playoffs, they don't even play full 7-game series until you get to the championship.
Exactly.
Series.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like, what the hell's the point?
But yeah, I mean, to answer the question, I do think the Raptors are bigger, more consistently, especially like even when the Raptors haven't, the Raptors haven't been amazing this year, these past few years, and there's still a lot of fans. Like, there's a lot of people interested in the Raptors and following them around.
I think it's easier for new arrivals to the country to get into the basketball players.
Oh,
as well.
it is.
Like, there's a lot more people who are in. There are a lot more people of color in the city, and I mean that like Indian people. And
you're right. No. And it's a more global sport, right? Like baseball is very localized to the West, right? Like there's not much baseball in Europe. But in terms of basketball,
2-run lead.
That's like a global thing, right? So
yeah, and there's like European players too. Like my buddy who I was talking about, who's Slovakian, is a big Luka Doncic fan because he's European, right? Like there's more global reach for sure.
Yeah.
Also, baseball's boring. It really is. I can't lie. It is a boring ass sport for most of the year, and then, like Will said, playoff baseball all rolls around, and it's fun, a lot more enjoyable. But for the majority of it, baseball's boring. Where basketball, there's exciting swings that happens in the game. I think for me personally, the fact that there is the inflation of scoring, it makes it less fun, where it's not as meaningful to score until like you get into like the end part of the game, or like there's a critical part of the game where a team pulls away. Where in hockey, it feels like nothing's out of reach unless it's like a 5-goal lead.
Right. Elton Hermanson or Marcus Nordmark? I think I like Hermanson a little more. There's more energy and speed in his game. Nordmark is very smart, tactical, sort of takes apart defenses a little bit better than Hermanson does. I'd love to blend the two together. But Hermanson does have like more, I think, projectable like intensity and energy in his game. And I don't know. With Nordmark, it's like when the puck's on his stick, you see some really, really strong stuff here and there with him. But in terms of like 200-foot output, I don't see as much there as Hermanson, but Hermanson does also have like the very high individual talent level, and the distribution skill is not the same as Nordmark. So it's kind of weird that they're two sides of the same coin ish. If you had to live in Europe for a year, where would it be? That's a very good question.
Milano.
Well, of course, the Italian would go to Italy.
Or I'd go Roma. I'd probably go
Rome. Back to home country.
Honestly, I'd probably go Roma because I have family in Rome that I could live with and take their elevator up to the second floor. Yes, they have an elevator.
I mean, I've been to a lot of places in Europe. I mean, I love Paris. Paris is great. I'm actually going there next month. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to Paris at the end of next month. It's gonna be fun. Paris for sure. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of like London. Copenhagen rocks. I would live in Copenhagen.
But Will, Denmark doesn't exist.
Oh yes, it does. It does now. It exists. It exists in this moment.
No, it doesn't.
I spent a week and a half in Amsterdam, and that was sick. Amsterdam was really, really cool.
Do you remember it all that well?
Yeah, I wasn't like, it was fun. We had fun.
You didn't do too many drugs?
No, not too many.
Just enough.
The Van Gogh Museum certainly can be made a whole lot more interesting with some of the things you can find in Amsterdam.
Did you?
I'm not going to comment.
Why not? Why not? It's perfectly legal. It's perfectly legal.
Nope.
It's
but anyway,
perfectly legal.
Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, of all the places I've been in Europe, probably Paris, Copenhagen, Amsterdam. I could go without, like, Germany.
Have you ever been to Rome?
Yes, but very briefly. I think
you gotta go back then, man. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I wasn't. Italy's very beautiful, but every time I've been to Italy, it's not my jam. It's not my. I don't know why not, but it's not.
We're not.
Yeah, the world's
anymore.
greatest capital city, London, England, I suppose. Yeah, whatever, bro.
Bruv.
With your weird, bruv, with your weird buses and
your double deckers and
weird cabs and weird side of the road you drive on, and
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Your Ferris wheel, the size
Get on
of
the right side of the road.
Yeah, drive like a normal
it's a double
person.
meaning.
Think of the economic growth when car companies don't have to make right-hand drive cars anymore. Just imagine the world. We'd all have flying cars right by now. We would all be
we could actually be innovative instead of
if we just
BS.
had everybody on the right side of the road. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would love to live in Europe if I could, but not the easiest thing to achieve. Slavkovsky or Wright?
Right.
Yeah.
Shane Wright.
But it's close. I think it's close.
I think I'm pretty comfortable taking Shane Wright.
Slavkovsky is fine, but yeah, I probably
Montreal
go Wright.
Could use a second line center right now. And Shane Wright's that guy.
Yeah. But Slavkovsky has his job too, and he's pretty good at it.
Or they could have a first line center and have Logan Cooley. Also that. See? We also dunk on the Habs. Just a little bit.
Gotta be careful, though. Gotta be careful.
No, look. I love you all. I love you all because you tune in and you help me live out a dream, all right? So, but I bust everybody's balls no matter where I go. And I'm more than open to everybody like screwing around with me and taking pot shots at me, but it doesn't mean you're exempt from pot shots. I'm going to take them, and I'm going to take them early and often. Throw it back at me, please.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd probably lean right on that one. Do you think the gap between 2 and 8 in this draft is narrower than the gap in 2025? Well, let me see.
Kind of early to say that, though, too, right?
Kinda. I mean, I have seen everyone in that range. I mean, oh, geez, it was close. For me on my list, like 3 to 7 was really close. This year, yeah, I think this year it's a bigger range. Like for me, the top 6 are really, really good. And ordering, I'd say 1 through 6 is going to be tricky as it stands right now. But yeah, we will see. Beyond that, like, it opens up really, really quickly, right? Like, there's guys in there that I do really like. Like, I've liked what I've seen of Belchets. I like Chase Reed. I like Alberta Smells. Sorry. I like a lot of these guys, but I can't, like, I'm kind of sitting here looking up and down my list being like, if the top 6 guys on my list are all gone, who is the one that I really want next? And I don't know the answer to that. So if anything, I'd say 7 through like 15 is tricky for me right now. Maybe 14 or something like that. But yeah, that's the tricky part for me right now. Any thoughts on Ben Wilmot? I don't have any because I don't know who that is, but I will put his name down
and let you know in the near future.
An 06 on the London Knights. Okay, he's scoring. He's got the points.
No, he's got the points.
He's got the points. Gotta check him out. I'll do it. I don't discriminate. Totally agree about London. Well, you're wrong. More people drive on the left on our planet as India and China. The 2 most populous countries are left side drive.
No, I think
that actually is a decent point.
I think they're agreeing with you, Will. And I think they're just adding J Mulk.
I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure that... Oh, no, India drives on the left.
Bro, it's just like England and... Doesn't Australia... Am I crazy? Is it Australia that also drives on the right?
Mainland China drives on the right, but Hong Kong and Macau are on the left.
What?
That is weird. Although I guess Hong Kong is technically not. Sorry if I can't say this.
No. One China. Right. One China.
Hong Kong is
Hong Kong, Taiwan. So everything is China. One China.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
We love you, Z. Yeah. We love you. Please don't stop me from coming into your country once. I would like to see your Great Wall.
That's it, though. Just the wall.
Not the firewall. Just the Great Wall.
Okay. West Coast or East Coast? I'm an East Coast type guy.
East side.
I don't know. I haven't been to California or Oregon.
Really?
I've been to Seattle.
You ever been to LA?
No, never been.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
I've been out east a lot more.
I would go out there to see a hockey game. In fact, I'd like to go to the West Coast. Like, I'd love to do the California road trip and go see the Sharks, the Ducks, and the Kings. Like, that's literally all. What I want to do is go travel to every hockey rink, NHL hockey rink. I ticked off Team 4 on the list. I've seen the Leafs, obviously, the Habs now, the Panthers at their stadium, and the Penguins. So I got a bunch more to get to. Gonna try and get to Buffalo this year, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I like the East Coast. I mean, East Coast Canada is one of my favorite places in the world.
It's cool. I love it.
Like Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, Newfoundland. Like, I love it out there.
Also, like, if we talk about the American East Coast, like New York's awesome.
Yeah, New York is cool.
I'd love to go visit Philly.
Boston's really cool.
Boston's awesome. I love Boston.
Yeah, we've got, what else is down there? I'm not counting Florida. That's the South.
I like Florida.
I'm not counting Florida.
I like Florida.
Not counting it.
I like it. You can hate it, but you're stupid for hating it so much. You're absolutely stupid.
Hey, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, but
it's funny, man. It's funny.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure California is amazing in like not LA. I just don't like LA.
Providence is I think. Like, I think I went to Providence once, and that was kind of fun.
I imagine I would love San Francisco. I feel like San Francisco would be my jam. But LA is not.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if it counts, but I really like Washington, D.C.
I like Washington, D.C. as well.
But the better half and I traveled there on a whim for a week, like in 2015 or whenever it was that. I think it must have been 2017 because 15 he wasn't president, but it was Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin at that summit in Finland where he's like, I don't believe the CIA. I believe this guy more than the CIA. And it was like, and I was there for that, and that was my first American protest experience. That was a lot of fun.
Did you go to the protest?
I did actually at the White House. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, it was pretty wild. It seems very quaint. It seems very quaint in retrospect, but that was a fun experience. But I love DC. Like, even setting that aside, it's a really cool place. Like,
all right, so we're talking about where we've traveled now. Where have you traveled, Will, in the world that you've loved, that are underrated destinations? I have one. It might be a little contentious to bring it up now, but I
know we have some UK people in the chat. I love Edinburgh. One of the coolest places I've ever been. I haven't been to
Scotland, just for everything.
Yeah. I haven't been to Iceland in a really long time, and I think it's a lot different than when I went the last time I went. I've been twice, and I love it there, but it might be a little bit different nowadays. I don't know. Where else have I been that I really liked? I thought Uruguay was cool. I was in Uruguay for a couple of days. Yeah, I've been to Montevideo for a little bit. That was fun. I went to Russia. I went to Russia twice, and that was something. I mean, I've said this before, but if Russia had its head on straight and wasn't such a basket case of a place, St. Petersburg would be one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I loved it. I thought St. Petersburg was like incredible. It's just really, really rough around the edges and not for everybody, especially nowadays. And that was in 2007. I don't know. Someone mentioned Switzerland as well. Like, I've been to a few places in Switzerland, and I loved it there too.
You've been a lot more places than I have, but like, I imagine you've gone on like your own dollar, which I have not.
I mean, I've been very lucky to travel a lot. A lot of it was like I worked to save up the money, and I got to spend a long time traveling after I finished university, so I went all over Europe. And I mean, this was a lot of it was like 2-3 days at a time, right? So it's like backpack to a place, sit there for a couple of days, backpack to a place, sit there for a couple of days. And also, I'm 35 years old. I've had plenty of time to take a week here and there to go somewhere. I don't really travel. I mean, I should probably travel more around Canada, at least. I generally do nowadays because I don't have the same financial means as I did a couple of years ago before the pandemic. But nevertheless,
that's the way it goes.
I am very lucky to have been able to do the traveling I've done. But
I mean, I've been to Italy, obviously, Italian born. In fact, my dad's in Italy right now. But like,
cool.
Love Italy, love Greece. Done like the Aegean Islands. Been to Turkey and Ephesus, but like that's the only experience I've had. I know it's contentious, but I loved my time when I went to Israel when I was 13 years old. It's a really beautiful place with a lot of archaeological sites, especially for a guy who's like super into Roman history like I am. Tons of Roman sites, and it was really cool to get to see all that stuff there. So when Israel has its head on straight, it's a great place to visit. It really is. It's really a beautiful place.
I do want to go to California. I do want to. I never have been, but I would love to check it out. Because I'm a desert guy. I love the desert. I'm a big, like, some of my favorite places in the US are like Arizona, Utah.
Yeah.
Like Utah is unbelievable.
You
know,
I love you know
it
what,
there.
Will? One time we should travel and go see a hockey game somewhere. Like,
yeah, okay.
Let's do it. Sure. You and me.
Done.
Let's go somewhere.
Done. Don't need to negotiate.
Fuck yeah.
We'll spin a wheel and decide on a place. There you go.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to road trip with my brother and his buddies and my cousin, because one of the most fun places I've been, one of the most fun trips I had was when I went to Pittsburgh with my cousin, my brother's friend, my brother, and myself. My brother's friend was screaming in the middle of the night while we were there. It was nuts. I'm like, dude, shut the hell up. And he just kept like saying, I think I hear a dog, and just barking his ass off just to make like as much noise as possible. And I was losing my mind, man.
I would have ripped their head off. I think that's what would have
happened. It was hilarious. I was so scared to get a noise complaint, and he did not. So
yeah, you haven't lived until you got a noise complaint in a crazy, weird European hospital. That's for sure.
He said some crazy stuff that I will not repeat here. I will tell Will after what he said, but it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad stuff.
I also, my sister actually went to Joshua Tree and said it was really, really nice. So yeah, it's been in the back of my mind as a place to go. Well, I mean, it is 9:57. Unless there are any last minute queries people would like to get in, or any takes or things you want to yell.
There was a question that we did miss.
What?
Is Baby LaSalle heading out of North America? And to which I say no.
No.
Some other team will give him a chance. Some other team
next
will give him
season,
a chance.
maybe.
2 seasons from now, maybe.
I mean, he's doing all right. Yeah, but we'll see. It's an interesting year for him, though. But I think that'll be it then. We can go watch the Jays game. Everybody else can go watch the Jays game if they're not doing that already. Or if you don't live in Toronto, then do whatever it is you were going to do.
How can you not live in Toronto? The center
yeah, exactly. Everybody lives here, right?
And everybody knows that the real London is in Ontario, right, guys?
7 yeah. 7 billion people all living in Toronto, all maps centered on Southern Ontario.
All roads lead to
Toronto. We all know this. Yeah, Belfast Giants are looking to get Fabian Lysell. I heard that rumor too, man. I heard that too. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Again, if you want to help us out directly, you can get a Scouching subscription over at scouching.ca, or you can help us out, or me, I guess, not AJ, by getting a Puck Preps subscription over there. Lots of good stuff you can check out over there. We got a Discord server, lots of data tools that I will be updating over the next little while for this coming season with the draft data and everything, and lots of other fun stuff going on over there. So you can check that out with plenty of tiers. We'll be back Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m. Are you going to be here?
No.
My Mr. Partner? Okay, no, so it's just me.
I might be back next Thursday, but if I'm not back next Thursday, you'll see me on November 17th, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Yeah, and then I go away.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Well, duty calls, right?
Yeah. Job. Yeah. Real job.
Yeah, real job. But anyway, that's going to be it. Thanks very much for joining us. This was a good one. I understand. I appreciate the attention on a night that is as busy as this for the greatest city in the world. And we'll see you Thursday afternoon, or at least I will. And yeah, AJ, parting words. I hope you step on Lego. Apparently.
Oh wow! Go Leafs, go! Yep. What else is there to say? Leafs for Cup. Good night.